Hi everybody, thank you for your patience. What we're doing is part 2 today of the advanced angels. Just to recap really what we did yesterday, what I'm going to do is go to the slideshow and go from the beginning. So yesterday, what we did was we did about the 12 rays. So if you have just joined, welcome. You would have joined this workshop and been given relevant codes. Once completed your quiz, email team@thedigitalpsychic.com. You can pass this once you've been through the quiz. The pass rate is 85% or more. You'll receive a certification of completion. And if you haven't already joined us on Facebook Messenger practice area, please contact Rachel Gibson BA Honours page. You will be required to fill out a short application form as well as provide some identification. The reason for that is so that I know details, just in case that if you were to require some reasonable adjustments for learning. Okay. So yesterday we did angel healing, and we talked about the angel energy therapy, working by channeling the angelic golden ray, also known as the Christ ray, down from source through the heart center, out through the palms into the recipient's aura. Unlike Reiki, it's directed straight into the body energy centers and the chakras. We then talked about the 12 divine rays, and also we looked at the different color of rays, the first ray, second ray, third ray, fourth, and so forth. We then went right up to what was called the Christ ray, which is raising your frequency and getting straight up to 12, and we did meditation and stuff like that. We then looked at the 12 higher chakras, the colors of the chakras, the vibrational changes as we raise, go up through the spheres and look to the gateway, and then continue looking at star being, casual crown, the third eye, the base, earth being, and then we went into how an experienced angelic healer, what we were able to do, what we should be able to work through the chakras, helping people to heal, the medical interventions, not to be given medical advice, realizing that we are holistic, and each of the chakras telling a unique story and blueprint. We did look at the first ray and its beautiful red energy, and also we then looked at the manifestation, also the base, the root, where all is present and is past. Then we looked at the second ray, the third ray, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. If you haven't had this yet, do not worry, because it will be in easy class, okay? Part 2. What we're going to be looking at today is what is dark energy and how does it impinge on our work, and how we release the dark negative energies with angels. First and foremost, it's really, really important to be calling upon Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, a symbol of divine protection and the warrior in the battle between good and evil. He's the one that carries a flaming sword. Think about blue and sparkling light in the flashing armor with the flowing hair and fiery eyes. Archangel Michael will help you to remove the residual energy from your life and relationships, cutting away the conflict, hurt, and pain. In addition to this, in order to understand residual energy, what happens is we have like an onion. It's layers and layers of energy around our bodies, the auric field. The core is in the middle. That is us. It's our soul. But also around us is this energy. And what happens is when dark enters, it enters from the outer layer. Okay, and what it does, almost like as if, say, you had an illness, when it attacks our immune system, the residual energy, the energy from dark forces, enters first of all the outer layer and then breaks through to the inner. And the way it does that is by us doubting and having negative thoughts and patterns. So it's essential that we use protection whilst we're working and calling upon Archangel Michael in order for him to be protecting our outer layers so that our inner layer is protected. So it's really important to understand how the dark forces work in order for us to have that protection. I always describe it almost like Star Wars. We have a light force and a dark force. And those that have studied or are going to be studying in defense of the dark arts will totally understand what I'm going on about because I've already covered it. Now, people will use black magic in different ways. They could be using it as curses. They could be using it as just bad intentions. It could be for whatever reason. And as a light worker, as an angel worker, it's very important to understand how the forces interact. There's negative energy and there's positive energy. Allowing us to do our readings for the better of good. And of course, we may be attacked. So it's important to call in Archangel Michael. To invoke Archangel Michael is very simple. Archangel Michael, please come to me now. I'm ready to cut the cords of fear between myself. Please free me of all negative energy, emotionally and in all ways. Because what happens is if we are psychically attacked or there's vampire attacks, whatever you call it, what happens is we become weak and our souls can become weak and it can impinge on the work that we're doing. So it's very important to be invoking Archangel Michael from the offset. Now, what I'm going to look at now is DNA. Okay. DNA is very, very important, and it's part of the knowledge of the higher dimensions and sacred teachings, which is encrypted in our DNA. And new frequencies are coming into our planet and affecting our everyday life. We're beginning to realize that we are not alone in the universe, and that if we can hold and vibrate love and light, the vibrations change. The soul star. The soul star is our connection or gateway to the broader universe, the cosmos. It is the section of our subconscious mind because of this. The soul star chakra is seen as our connection to the higher self. Our higher self is what some would refer to as our real self, our real true self, the knowing self. It is the part of us that is in all of us, all divine. It is everything. Our experiences that is defined by our thoughts, our emotions, behaviors, and sense that we are somehow separate from all that there is. But from this point in our energy fields outward, we are one consciousness. We are one. And because the soul star is this point of transformation, it is sometimes considered the seed and origin of the 7 lower chakras that relate to us as an incarnated being. The soul star is concerned with our soul purpose. When our soul star is balanced, we have a clear sense of purpose and why we have chosen this incarnation. We move through life with conviction and ease. Your soul star chakra is the doorway between your immortal soul and your earthbound personality. Your higher self can give you access to the Akashic records, help you find your true life purpose, and remind you that you are a perfect being made of love and light. As we did yesterday, reaching the Christ consciousness, opening your soul star chakra and stepping through the veil that does separate your earthly self and your internal soul will open your eyes to the vast space beyond physical plane boundaries. Now, this part 2 is all about star seeds. Now, star seeds are beings that have experienced life elsewhere in the universe on other planets and in non-physical dimensions other than on Earth. A typical star seed may have lived 5 to 50 times on Earth. They are beings that have experienced life elsewhere in the universe, on other planets, and in non-physical dimensions other than on Earth. Star seeds may also have previous lifetimes on Earth. There are 3 categories of seeds as follows. Now, a typical star seed may have 5 to 50 lives. That's a lot of lives if you think about it. Some of these were preparation lifetimes, which include periods of acclimatization. I'll say that in English again. Acclimatization to being a human being on Earth and the development of the life missions that lead to the climax of these activities in the current lifetime. Now, Earth represents a place of service more than a place of learning for these star seeds who have already achieved higher consciousness on other planets, as there were fewer lifetimes on Earth compared to the average human being, which leads this group of star seeds to retaining some of their extraterrestrial abilities, such as with healing, telepathy, channeling, and with great higher consciousness qualities. The New Age star seeds, as they often come to Earth at times of rising spiritual awareness, as this is the environment that their gifts can be recognized and when they can truly help others. And many of us will identify with many categories. Now, there are also star seeds that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes on Earth, going back to the beginning of humanity and even the beginning of the planet. These are the guardians of Earth and have strong links to Sirius, which is the spiritual guardian of Earth and humanity. And their life missions are tied into the long-term evolution of Earth and humanity. And this is why they have willingly incarnated on Earth so many times in order to fulfill these projects. Normally, their roles include being a spiritual teacher, prophets, light workers, guardians, healers, all kinds of leaders, such as High Priestess. These star seeds hold the wisdom and spiritual knowledge of the ancients as it has been used on Earth. And this does include things like knowledge of astronomy, astrology, runes, numerology. It sounds like me, doesn't it? Sounds like you. This will be the last lifetime as a human being for many of these old soul star seeds who are completing the cycles of lifetime on Earth. This is why they still resonate with their extraterrestrial origin. New star seeds have often had few or no previous lifetimes on Earth whatsoever, so some of them don't. But most of them are either been on this planet for 5 to 50 times or been here for an absolute lifetime. And you'll hear the word and terminology ascension quite a few times. Earth and humanity at this time of ascension, as it's easier for them to integrate with humanity now than any other previous time on Earth. Also, they have other gifts for humanity, roles to play in this great time of change. Their energy fields are quite pure, very expansive, very sometimes dense, because they've lived on Earth for so long. The motivation for all starseeds is to come to Earth to help and serve mankind as well as planet Earth, and to be raising the frequency and the vibration in order for us to be as one and raising that higher consciousness. So that's what starseeds essentially are here to do. Now, there are common characteristics of all starseeds: a deep interest in spirituality, the ability to spiritually grow rapidly, the realization that Earth is not their true home. They feel very drawn to outer space, the stars and science fiction, ancient alien programs, things like that. Personal qualities such as being artistic, very sensitive, and possessing higher consciousness. But sometimes starseeds have difficulties because they find it very difficult not to challenge the status quo, and also not to challenge, say, governments and stuff like that. And they sometimes have dreams, memories that they cannot understand. They sometimes have experiences of physical and non-physical encounters with star guides and UFOs. And they have often noticeable gifts. So the DNA is the building blocks essentially, and it's about raising consciousness in order to recognize the new DNA systems here on this planet. Syrian DNA as well from other sources. And this perspective, we are all star seeds, and we all come from a creator. So there is no difference between us. And so why are so many human beings on Earth not interested in the star seeds? Quite interesting, isn't it? Because they won't be able to see anything, because we're living in a 3D, three-dimensional world. Everything is all about perception, and misconstrued perception also, arguably. And the majority of human beings have different reasons for coming here when compared to typical starseeds. They're on a different spiritual path for learning and spiritual evolution. And many souls do choose to incarnate on Earth many times in order to complete a cycle. And they experience things differently, as we all do. We're all learning different ways. But sometimes things aren't remembered by the human beings consciously. But the density of Earth is such that it's repeating the incarnations here often, and what results in human beings losing their awareness. So you'll hear the terminology sometimes is sheeple, or they're asleep and stuff like that. It's very important to understand that not everybody will understand certain concepts. And I, for one, do not also believe that people should be pushed into some sort of philosophy or religion. But if people are feeling that they're different due to being more aware because they're on a higher frequency, then we as spiritual leaders and spiritual people need to be discussing and talking of this so that others understand and that people don't feel alone. Such as indigo children, rainbow children, who, they feel they're different, they're gifted children, but society won't recognize it because it's not of the norm. So it's important not to divide people and create hierarchy. It's important to understand star seeds though, and acknowledge the difference from other beings, other people. It's just different, and it's about not separating, but actually recognizing that star seeds are here to increase consciousness and awareness. Star seeds are contributing something that will grow, will assist, and will raise the higher frequency of this planet to the ascension of consciousness in individuals and in humanity. There is so much information in relation to starseeds that just is incredible. It's been noted for a long, long time, although we're now waking up because of the different dimensions. And you would have heard 1111. That is 11 dot 11 dimension. Now we've looked at galactics before in previous classes, and I never really touched upon starseed. Although I knew it was relevant, I saved it for advanced because it's important to understand all dimensions and all of the connections to the realms. Starseeds are individuals that originate from far distant stars and solar system planets and galaxies. Highly evolved souls. All star seeds are encoded with activation encryptions that will unlock knowledge, talents, and predetermined or spontaneous time on Earth. Now, most star seeds feel a sense of misplacement. They feel that they were just dropped here on Earth, like, hey man, what am I doing here? Why have I been put on this planet? But it's to harbor a sense of emptiness and longing to find or to go back to their true home. Starseeds often ponder if perhaps their mothership landed on Earth and they ventured out to explore the planet, and ET is real. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people that are spiritually aware really do feel that they don't belong here. And we're going to be talking about that soon as we go later into Messenger to talk about this and really connect to who you are if you feel that you've got these attributes of being what is known as a star seed. Because the notions of extraterrestrial space travelers, supernatural forces, psychic endeavors, going back to Star Trek and Star Wars, it kind of provides a sense of comfort and familiarity for some people, and maybe why lots of people are drawn to certain programs or films. Because starseeds are unique, striking, they have very good physical attributes. And they carry DNA from various universes and dimensions that have traveled in their many past incarnations. But unlike ET, they look human. It's almost like starseeds have this inner knowing that Earth is not their primary source of existence or even identity. They feel like foreigners on this planet, just landed here. Off we go, nobody's going to recognize us. But starseeds innately have extraordinary intuition and psychic ability. And they're very adept and attuned to conceal agendas and conspiracies of earthly societies. They are very attuned when someone's lying to them or if they feel that something isn't correct. But all star seeds have this knowing that they are meant to awaken, activate from their beings, to remember who they are and why they have come to this planet, and to accomplish their duties. And they'll see it as a duty to raise the frequency, to raise that bar, to make life different, to heal Earth. And the reason why I've discussed this is because as an advanced therapist, it's very, very important to understand star seeds as beings, because when you are out there and people want readings from you as an advanced angel worker, you will come across various people with in-depth knowledge of indigo children and rainbow children and galactics, and they will come to you and they'll want you to understand star seeds because they could be one, and they'll want you to know how to be able to deal with it. And that's the thing, as a therapist, you meet people from all different types of life. Okay, I've actually had somebody who actually turned around to me and said, "Oh my gosh, I've got men in black in my house." I can't turn around and go, "Really? Men in black have turned up at your house?" I have to provide a service that suits everybody, and I did refer that person to places that can help, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with people that have got skills, psychic abilities, and stuff like that. Now, you're going to ask me, am I starseed? I will talk about that later. I personally don't like labeling myself, but that's me. But I've seen starseeds in meditation. I know their existence, and I also know that they're not just in this realm on Earth, here on the lower vibration, they're also in the realm. I've seen them, they're very bright white beings. And what I'm going to do is introduce you to them, because I have worked with them for quite a while, I can tell you. And people have even seen my live videos and said, "Oh my gosh, look at that. Her, the, the flashing." And they would like taking photos. And other students and other people out there have described the same, where they've seen the flashing, the bright white light, and many of you here may have also. Our primary goal is to look after the planet, to master the Creator's light, to share the Creator's light, resonating pure sound of this light. And as we go further into the course, we will be looking at better in all different methodologies as well, how we connect to the star seeds, how we connect to the angels, and how we're able to use this divine source in order for us to heal others. The star seeds have a unique ability to be able to shift their consciousness at a rapid pace. So once activated, they can make advancements in all core areas of their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual planes of existence. This includes all different types of psychic and spiritual awareness and other earthly obstacles much more swiftly than any other earth humans. This is due to the star seed's past familiarity with the processes and practices of raising vibration. So now you know why I'm always going on about raise that frequency, raise that vibration, because it's so important. Because what we're doing essentially is healing ourselves, healing the planet. And I'll make you all vegetarian. I am joking, of course. They're innovators. They're star ancestors, galactic. So what I'm going to do now is help you connect to the star seeds. But before I do that, I do want to discuss the difference between a light worker and a star seed. You get attacked by those light workers. So seriously, many people often become confused with the terms light worker and star seed. And the differences between these two types of individuals has to do with the soul's origin, their core objective and the foundations of their expertise. Light workers are here to raise the vibration of the planet and spread light through energy. And that's their primary goal. Star seed's main source of existence prior to this incarnation was derived from the star and the solar system's planets and galaxies. So light workers are here to share and spread the light that is currently in existence. Star seeds are also spreading light, but their predominant focus is to seed new systems of light originating from the stars, formulating the name star seed. They're here to help awaken the remembrances of the Creator's light through the information, the galactics and birthplaces and their fellow star friends. Not all light workers' souls, core energy, or signatures or blueprints and expertise and abilities they embody are specifically derived from an intergalactic and interdimensional origin. So both types are very important, but star seeds have just that little bit of extra going on. I will now help you connect to the star seeds if you are with me in Facebook chat area. If you're not, please do contact me, Rachel Gibson, at Rachel Gibson BA on this page, or you can go to the digitalpsychic.com. On there is my email address, or go to team@thedigitalpsychic.com email address. So did I say that twice? No, at thedigitalpsychic.com. Yeah, I did say that twice. Okay, I'm up there with the stars, ready to connect to the star seeds. We'll be doing this one again because you might have heard Chai in the background just trying to lick my phone and lick my computer and everything else. Anyway, see you in a mojo. That's my new saying.